What's going on, guys? Your boy SB back with a hot take. It's been a minute. We've been doing the hot takes in the studio and different places around my house and stuff like that. Listen, I've been out in the field, but y'all know how it is with designer releases and stuff like that, which is what we typically do hot takes on. You know, if I'm going to get a niche fragrance or something like that, I'm going to do it in the studio, spend more time with it. Or a cheapie. You know, cheapies and designers and stuff that's currently out in the market is mostly what I do in a hot take, because that's the stuff that you guys see every day when you go into the various beauty stores for fragrances. Today's hot take is Prada Paradigme, and people always wonder, like, SB, why does it take you so long to do a hot take? The hot takes are brief, but how come when something drops, you're not right on it? And that's because I have a pulse on the fragrance community. I know what's going on in the content world, and I see what people are talking about. And in the echo chamber of redundancy, I always can tell when the roars are loud enough for me to want to push urgency towards a fragrance. And Prada Paradigme was always just a fragrance that people said smells good, but is nothing special across the board. And so I just, I'll get to it when I get to it. So I saw it today, thought I'd spray it on myself, give you guys Scent Bubbles review. I know that despite what I feel, people are in the market for Prada Paradigme, considering it and want to know what I think. So here's your hot take review. I've loaded up the test strip with 3 sprays, and I sprayed my fist about twice, honestly, pretty close. So I'm dripped out. This is about 10 minutes after. And when I do my hot takes, honestly, I try to give you a review of what I'm experiencing at least about 10 minutes after I spray it. Because a lot of times with designer fragrances, there's a lot of deceit in the opening, meaning what you get in that first wow factor moment is a fantasy stage. It is gone. So I want to tell you at least 10 minutes in, when everything sits down, I don't see any liquid or any sheen anymore, what you have. And this is still technically the opening, even though it has dried down. It probably hasn't transitioned, meaning the top and heart notes are still present and haven't faded away. So with that being said, on the test strip, it smells good. Phenomenal, no. Great, maybe. Good and great. In my world, this would be a good fragrance. I think in the real world, it would be great. Not phenomenal, not mind-blowing, not signature, but just a great scent. Very safe, very safe. It's not the freshest. It leans a little bit more dark. Not really like nighttime dark, but it just has a tonality like a Givenchy, or Sauvage, or, just a little tint of spice, or, spices is what it's got to be. I get this spicy blue-green tint. A fragrance very close to this is Shiaka Blue. This is Shiaka. I've actually referenced Shiaka Blue many times in comparisons with other fragrances, even niche fragrances. And believe it or not, this is surprisingly close. Now I remember, Shiaka Blue was what I told you guys to get instead of Bleu de Chanel Exclusive. This is Shiaka Blue Light. Shiaka Blue is quite pungent, quite dense. It's in the air. It's almost like a Spice Bomb Extreme Blue edition. And it's a mix between kind of this Bleu de Chanel Spice Bomb kind of feel, dense. But Paradigme is just like that. I get the exact same profile, this kind of blue-greenish spice. It's semi-fresh, not the freshest fragrance I've ever smelled. It's not even super fresh. It leans more on a Givenchy level of spice, or a Spice Bomb, something like that. And then again, in the backdrop, I kind of just get a blue tint, maybe a green tint. The blue-greenish feel is kind of the blue of like the blue tint of kind of like a Dylan blue-ish, and the green tint of like a Coach green. or the blue tint of like a Jimmy Choo blue, green tint of Coach Green. So somewhat of a appley, a spiced citrus that has a somewhat darkened tone, but not so dark that it's smoky or woody or anything like that. It's just middle of the road. You know, you guys know how Spice Bomb and Givenchy give it up. You know, that spiced apple, spiced bergamot, slightly dark woody base, ambery finish. And it's playing the middle of the fence between semi-fresh and, semi-serious. My rating on this is 7. If you bought this fragrance today, and again, I know my hot take is getting a little too long here, but my consolidated opinion about this, on skin, it's virtually the same. It does get a little bit fresher, a little bit sweeter, a little less spicy. The spices kind of fade, but the tint of the blue-green tint is still there. My thoughts on this is leans toward cold weather, not necessarily a season. Man, my face is like orange in this lighting. It could be any season, any reason, but if you're going to wear it in the hotter weather, the hotter climates, wear it closer to the evening, so after 3 p.m. kind of feel. Fall, winter, you could pretty much wear it all day long. The tonality of it feels semi-serious, so a lunch date, early afternoon dinner, it could be a date night, but it's not really very romantic. It's teasing romance. It's more just a nice, classy men's scent, designer men's scent that has a little bit of sweetness for intimacy's sake. I feel like this is a 25 and down fragrance because of the genericness of it. You can get away with generic when you're younger because it's not generic to you. Most younger guys aren't rocking a ton of different fragrances, and women aren't either. So younger girls and stuff like that, a lot of these profiles and these scents are going to feel new and different because most of the guys your age probably aren't rocking stuff like this, or if they are, this still feels somewhat refreshing. It is quite a little bit bubblegummy, there's another fragrance I'm thinking about that I haven't quite figured out, but the stuff I've named so far is in line with this. This is average. It smells good. You're not going to smell bad. You will smell generic to people who are familiar with fragrance, but to the regular world, you will smell quite good. I think this could be an 8 for the general population. For fragrance lovers, this is very average. In fact, for all of my collectors and enthusiasts out there, you'd probably give this a 5 or a 6 out of 10, and that would be probably being generous. I give it a 7 though. I know where I stand. If you buy it, you won't be pissed off, but you won't be excited either. It'll just be a utility, easy dump fragrance for you. Load up the sprays on this because now 15-20 minutes in, it is a slightly darker fragrance, so the projection and longevity will probably be, at least 6 hours. But a fragrance like this, I tend to be aggressive on 6 to 8 sprays. But if you're in a classroom or something like that, I tend to believe, 4 or 5 sprays is going to get you in the door. Alternatives to this, man, I hate to say it again because this was my alternative for Bleu de Chanel Les Exclusive, but Chiaka Blue will beat Paradigme. It's Paradigme, but a little more blue than green, and it's got better performance and better punch. It really punches and growls in a tasteful way. That kind of blue, slightly bubblegum shower jelly feel with the Spice Bomb kind of DNA. It's just better. It's virtually the same thing. Again, this is Chiaka Blue Light. Just a little bit fresher, a little bit lighter. 7 out of 10 for me, and that is my hot take. This fragrance is going to set you back $165 retail. You probably get it close to the $100 mark. Again, I'm talking about 100 mil EDP. I think you guys, if you don't have any fragrances at all and you pick this up, this will be your Sauvage, this will be your Gentleman Reserve Privé, your Gentleman Boisé, you know what I'm saying, your Spice Bomb alternatives, all that. But I don't think it beats any of those. It just meets them where they're at. It's a very redundant DNA, but it's good. In the general population, you will smell good. You may get a compliment or two. That's about it. It's nothing to wake up and get excited about, even if you're not that much of a collector. So with that being said, this was Prada Paradigme, EDP, 7 out of 10. Stay blessed. Like, comment, subscribe. More importantly, turn on that notification bell, and I will recommend 2 videos to you of some more hot takes if you're into that quick tip, quick review stuff. And check out the channel. There's so much content to watch. Long form, short form, entertainment, critical, anything, man. Dig in. There is a feast of content that I'm bringing to y'all. But this was hot takes. So I'll catch y'all later. Peace.